Yo, BJ Gaddour here, and we have a very special presentation for fitness pros. I know I do a lot of content for the consumer, people trying to burn fat, build muscle, boost metabolism, do it at home. Very busy schedules. That's what I do. But you know what? I'm also a fit pro myself. I know how much fit pros have struggled since the pandemic. We lost half of the people in the industry. Every 6 months, a new trainer is out of the business. How can we help them stay in the game? That's what this presentation is all about. The blueprint to your very own online fitness business. No tech nightmares, no content overwhelm. I'm going to take you behind the scenes. I'm going to share my exact online business model. And I brought with me my partners in this project, the great Pat Rigsby, one of my first fitness business mentors back in the day, and also Justin Yule, a longtime member of various sites and stuff that I've had out there. Also a sales, marketing, and business expert, also a local gym owner in Minnesota. So we have a great panel here to really unlock the mysteries of this and find ways for those that frankly are a little bit behind. If you're just getting into this right now, you're a little bit behind. So you need actually a proven system so you can get immediate action taken today to get results, make more money, work less, all that great stuff. So I'm going to kick it to Pat, who's going to lead us into this presentation. I think you guys will enjoy this. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And let's have a great, I promise you this, guys, we're going to give you a ton of information today, and get ready to take action at the end of this presentation.
Well, I wanted to talk with you about why we are in the middle of the digital fitness revolution. And yes, it's already started. We're already halfway through, if not further. Things have evolved faster than ever before when it comes to the fitness industry. When I got into this industry over 20 years ago, everything was offline. Things were traditional gyms, traditional health clubs. But through the pandemic and beyond, things have accelerated. And now, the landscape of fitness is changing, and it's changing rapidly. People want things conveniently. People want things on demand. It's no different than anything else, right? Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV. We want things when we want them. We want things how we want them. And the digital fitness revolution is really the embodiment of that. And that has created the rise of online training. It's created more opportunities for fitness professionals like you to get into the market and reach people beyond your local market. Geography is no longer an obstacle. You can serve people all around the globe. You can deliver the things that you've done well with people locally, anywhere, anytime, at your convenience, at their convenience. And so there's a huge opportunity ahead, but frankly, most people are going to miss it. Most people are going to miss out on the opportunity because there's a right way to do this and there's a wrong way. And just like with most kind of land grabs in history, the people who are the fast movers, the people who make smart decisions are going to be the ones who really thrive. They're going to be the ones who take advantage of the opportunity. So let me talk to you about what's on the horizon here, what's coming during this presentation. Well, first, we're going to share how to make more money as a fitness professional, how to make more money more specifically as an online fitness professional while working less. BJ has really dialed this in, and I've coached some of the most prominent names in the fitness industry, and nobody has optimized this better than BJ has. Speaking of that, BJ has practiced, perfected, dialed in a process from creation to delivery and everything that surrounds it and in between it. And he's going to unpack that for you today. He's going to show you how he's optimized this so you can avoid all the pitfalls, all the challenges, all the obstacles that he had to go through. And if you stay to the end, we're going to show you how to take immediate action and start really moving on building your own online fitness empire. So let me tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to hand it off to Justin and BJ so you just get a feel for what our background is and why we feel so strongly about the online fitness opportunity as it exists today. Well, I've been coaching fitness business owners in this industry since about 2005. And I've owned over 35 different businesses in the fitness industry, ranging from two different award-winning franchises that had over 275 locations to online training companies. In fact, my wife had the top-selling Fitness for Moms program in the industry for a while, which was entirely online. So I've seen it from all sides, all corners. I've authored 17 books, 5 bestsellers. I've coached many of the leaders that you know in the fitness industry today. And all of that really has helped me understand what works, what doesn't, and kind of where we're headed. And then obviously I was a coach myself. I have coached baseball for the last 32 years. I started my career as a college baseball coach, college strength coach. And so I've seen this from every corner. And it works not just for fitness, but it works for strength and conditioning. This online model is just a delivery vehicle for you to reach more people, make more money, and work less. And then finally, I got my start with my first online clients all the way back in 2004, just out of necessity. My training business was next to Fort Knox. When people would get shipped off, we would need to find a way to keep them as clients. And so we started delivering things in a really crude, rudimentary way online. And boy, has it moved fast since then. And I'm so glad we have BJ to kind of guide you through it. So with that being said, let's hand it off to my buddy, Justin Ewell.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be here, especially being with these two guys, Pat and BJ. This is actually quite the full circle experience for me. Because you see, first and foremost, I'm a fellow fitness professional and coach just like you. I've been around for a while and I've done some pretty cool things in my career. Some you can see on the slide. But what's more relevant to today is that about 15 years ago, I was kind of in your shoes. Now, it was a little bit different because it wasn't about conquering online fitness. Back in those days, boot camps were kind of all the rage. And it was these two guys, it was Pat and BJ, who gave me the knowledge, they gave me the coaching, and really most importantly, they gave me the confidence to leave a 6-figure health club job and actually start my own fitness business. Pat actually mentioned he had several different programs that he's done over the years. One of those was actually a program with BJ. It was actually called the Boot Camp Blueprint, and I was actually one of their initial clients. And what they taught me about business and what BJ provided in terms of solutions, it was really without question like the catalyst to my success. And all of these years later, 15 years later, I'm still using much of what they provided me. In fact, actually, just from a programming standpoint, it's over there on the shelf. I have a binder about this thick, full of like old school programming from BJ. And I think BJ mentioned it earlier. I'm also actually a client of his in his current online program. She's going to share more about today and the success there. That's what this is about. And that has been a fantastic resource for me as not just from a fitness standpoint, but as a fitness professional to be able to kind of, a little bit of swipe and deploy and utilize some of the resources and what he's taught me through that program and over the years to help me with my profession. So anyway, to get to be on the other side of this, working with Pat and BJ and now being able to share with you, this is kind of a surreal experience for me, so I'm really excited to be here. So I'll stop for now. I'll be back a little bit later. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to BJ. Let's get to it.
And again, I am BJ Gaddour. They always say pretend as if it's the first time people are listening to you. So we'll do that here. Look, I'm the former fitness director for the Men's Health brand, first personal trainer ever on the cover of Men's Health. I've authored the book, Your Body's Your Barbell, which we'll talk about in some length today, about workouts you can do anytime, anywhere, really meeting people where they're at home, minimal equipment, travel, and all that good stuff. So it really is my specialty. I've had several best-selling DVDs, SpeedShred and MetaShred. And like Justin and Pat alluded to, we worked together on helping trainers in the 2008 recession when people couldn't afford to do personal training and transition from personal to group training or boot camps. And it really created a incredible pathway for many people like trying to make a living through fitness. And obviously there's new obstacles today, which we'll talk about. And you got to constantly evolve and fine tune that process. I created the first ever streaming workout online platform called StreamFit back in 2011. And since I left Men's Health, I've been operating as the creator of the Daily BJ app, where they get all of my home workouts and programming, motivating people all over the world, all walks of life, how to get fit at home. So I'm going to share my path to online fitness success. And again, that path, there was no blueprints. There were no books. There was no, we were blazing trails. We were in there first. And part of what you'll enjoy and take advantage of today is all my mistakes and all the lessons and wisdom that I've learned in trying to make online workouts, and what Pat and Justin have learned in their process of building and sharing and coaching other trainers and fit pros out there to survive online and offline. Now, my origin story. Look, my first job was, at least in fitness, at my actual college, Amherst College, I would clean and unload the weights. All these athletes would do their workouts, let the weights out. I'd be cleaning that, racking the weights. And then I got a job at a local gym in Massachusetts, and I was working the front desk. I was cleaning toilets and cardio equipment. And I've done everything from that to being the fitness director of the Men's Health brand, the world's largest men's magazine, what some could call the pinnacle of what this journey could be in this space. And I'm back out on my own again with those lessons. So I know what it's like. I had a gym in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I transitioned from an offline to online business because that's where I was most natural and that's where I felt most comfortable. But I've been there. That's part of why I got so good at this, is because I did work with so many people in person. So that's an innate quality, I think, that you can't overlook. You want to just go into online, you can do it, but you really need at least a system that someone created that actually worked with actual human beings, okay? It really makes a difference. So, you know my history, and ultimately 20 plus years of doing this. My weak points are probably more on the business side or the sales side, and that's where Pat and Justin come in. I'm really a creator. I'm really a programmer. That's where my passion lies, and that's where that's where my gift is. So what we want to do in this kind of big three panel, we're going to share all of our unique insights and really our gifts combined, that classic 1 + 1 = 3 exponential gains for you as a fit pro trying to navigate this crazy, saturated, competitive online fitness space. So this is what it looked like. This was the original streaming workout site. It's a younger version of me. And, I think I've aged pretty well, but it is crazy because this site cost $100,000 to make back in 2011. And this is the second version because the beta version didn't work out well. This is what happens, right? When you're early to a space, it's super expensive. It's super time consuming, and it's just nothing but headaches, hiccups, and mistakes. And you're just trying not to bang your head against the wall too hard, right? But this is what it looked like. And again, I share this with you because I was in there before the Daily Burns, the Beach Bodies, or what they're called now, the Bodies, or the Ultimate Posers, Peloton. Okay, so look, now obviously they've made millions of dollars. They're more successful, blah, blah, blah. But, ultimately they followed my lead. So all the mistakes we made, and just sometimes you can be a little bit too early, but you also, there's nothing worse than being too late. And I'm telling you right now, at the time of sharing this presentation, this is your last chance to really kind of secure yourself some digital real estate and make your online imprint, because AI is on the way. All right. It's crazy out there. We don't really know what the future is going to look like because the accelerated rate of change right now is at a whole new level. Like, things were changing in 2008, but like in time of 2024, the year of our Lord right now, things are as unstable, volatile, and we don't even know what's going to happen next in a lot of ways. So all we can do is take action and learn from people that are in this position right now doing well. The problem with that, right, in 2011, there's plenty of reasons it failed. I didn't have enough experience. I was a little bit green, didn't raise enough money. But ultimately, again, there was no blueprint for this. And, I'll tell you what, as many of you maybe have considered going online but haven't done it yet, it's scary. It's scary to have a gym and a client base and ultimately go to, now it's just like, it's like an illusion. It's not even real, right? It's just people. I don't even know these people, and I'm sharing workouts, and you're hoping for the best. So yeah, there is a sense of like, wow, this is the wild, wild west, and that's what it was back then. And it's super tough to create fast, fun, and effective workouts for people without supervision. I mean, in person, if you're a trainer, personal training, group fitness, whatever, you get people coming in and you're showing them what to do, and even in person, their interpretation of what you're showing them can sometimes be quite different, right? So it's an even bigger challenge online. You're not there. You can't motivate them. You can't correct them. So it makes the onus on the online trainer, like, we got to be as flawless as we can in what we show. We got to be as smart and strategic as what we in terms of planning workouts and putting people in the positions of success and safety and everything else. But that's stressful. And then, there's too much content. So you make a lot of content, then the user, they don't know which workouts to do, or you got to organize the workouts in a way that is, makes sense for people. And they don't know what is the best workout. What should I do today? And, this happens with us. If you're a fit pro, this can happen with us with the colors we choose for our gym wall. What are we going to do, right? I was on a call when someone asked me, what Glade plugins do you use, right? You get really caught in the weeds and get caught in the details of this stuff. And then, like I alluded to earlier, the insane cost of content creation. It took me $250,000 back in 2011 to get this product to market. That is a non-starter for most of us. And again, it was a non-starter for me. I had to go to 5 guys and convince them to cough up the money to get that done. So not a lot of people want to do that. And I'm not even saying you even want to go that route, because there is a benefit to doing this and having true ownership yourself as well. Designing the website, picking the member platform, figuring out online marketing. Then you got to build a social media following on 5 different social media outlets right now. And on top of that, you've got to figure out what online persona is going to break through the noise and resonate with people so that they can trust you without even meeting you, give you their money through a paywall and commit to your workout. So again, there's a lot that goes into this, and we know the roadblocks, and ultimately what we're trying to do today is help you navigate them and overcome those obstacles. So turning points, right? The writing was on the wall. And fitness has always been a weird space in the sense that we're always 5 to 10 years behind the other industries, right? In the 90s, that was the time of the DVD. But it was the aughts and even the early 2010s where fitness DVDs were crushing. That being said, we got to a point where I got a new computer and I couldn't even put a DVD in it. So new technology was not even DVD compatible. So we were in the midst of what was the streaming revolution. DVDs were dying, and also, understanding the fitness consumer is a whole new battle, right? I mean, a lot of us think we know what people want if we have them come to our gym, but it's a different scenario. Like, there's a relationship there. You're their coach. When you're trying to reach people online, it's a totally different mentality of someone who's going to do workouts at home on their own, right? In terms of what resonates, what messaging resonates with them. And a lot of times too, in person, you can overcome systems not being in place because of your own charisma and your passion and your heart and your soul that you can deliver to that person. Online, it's not as easy to give that through a screen. And even if you can do that, and then without that, you really need to understand, what is their time commitment, how to make it as easy as possible to get them what they're looking for in terms of a home fitness plan. It's not easy. And I've had endless lessons from thousands of videos that I've made. I'm on 20.0 of some of the videos I've made in the past, like top 10 push-up variations, right? I've done 20 plus versions of that. And I learned from every video how to get better. And these are lessons I can pass along. Those are the lessons I take to all of my content. And by the way, things have changed a lot. When I got involved 20 years ago, my first YouTube video got like 10 views. And then the peak of what I was doing at Men's Health, we got a video that got 48 million views. That added 1 million people to their Facebook page in a matter of 24 hours. So I know what it's like to go everything in between that. And ultimately, we are now in a situation where people's attention spans, like a good YouTube video, like people were watching videos for 5 or 10 minutes. Now it's like, you lose people's attention after 15 seconds or less, which means we got to be really tight with your hooks and your pitch, and you can't waste people's time. You got to know how to break through the noise. It's even more challenging now to figure it out. And Men's Health for me was a graduate school in terms of what worked, what messaging the consumer was looking for, what equipment made sense for the home fitness crowd, what type of video or photos could allow someone to stop in their scroll or open up an email. And it just reps on reps on reps. All stuff we'll pass on with you today. What's the vision of this, right? You got to know who you are. The reality is most of you are probably a better coach than me. Coaching, I don't really enjoy it. I'm more of a lead by example guy. I frankly get burnt out in a sense by it. It kind of takes energy away from me. But many of you actually get energy from coaching. I get energy by creating content. And part of what I think is so great with this, as an introverted individual, and at 41 and been in this space for so long, and just knowing how hard it is for trainers now to make a living in this space, back in the day, I was training trainers with Pat. And now it's time to come back with all the lessons I've learned about the consumer and how I can pass it along to you. And we can help build this post-pandemic vacuum, this post-pandemic purgatory. It's like we thought this was what rock bottom was. And in some ways, it's just basically, we're just circling the bottom of the drain still. We have to snap out of this and find a way. Like, how is it possible? There's never been more content out there, but people have never been more fat and sick and out of shape. We're doing something wrong. And we know it's not going to be fixed by the Pelotons or the Nike Fit Clubs of the world. It's going to be people like you and me, real people that actually train actual humans that know who they are. We're going to be the ones that help people make a real change. So I want to leverage my programming gifts. I want to share my content creation experience. I want to teach you how to build your own online empire. And I can't stress this enough. This isn't BS. You're already kind of a little bit late to the game if you want to do this on your own. Like, you need a system right now because there's 3 to 5 years left or less to secure digital real estate. What does digital real estate mean? It means an online imprint that allows you to send messages to people and potentially make money giving a service to people or a product to people remotely, anytime, anywhere. Because I'll tell you what, these wet markets are not going anywhere. If you think that was the last situation where there's going to be a shutdown or civic strife or anything else like that, we know what's going on out there. It's a lot of doom and gloom. And ultimately, what you as a business owner need is as much control as possible and as much versatility as possible. Not that you're necessarily going to get rid of your offline business. No. If you enjoy that and you're doing well with that, this can just be a companion to diversify your revenue against hard times. All right. And if you want to transition or you find yourself in a situation, again, where there is a shutdown, at least now you've got a system in place so that you're not, losing that control. Because we all know what that's like. We do this because we don't want to lose that control. We love the autonomy. So I'm going to kick it to Pat now. Again, I can't stress enough, Pat's business acumen. And Pat has written an email, I think, daily for 20 straight years. You talk about consistency. And again, I take, people ask, or people might wonder, why is he where he is? No, it's not because of whatever it is you might think. It's because of the consistency that I brought to my business, my training. Pat is that guy. And Pat is a true coach, not just coaching athletes, but bringing that to coaching fit pros. It's a passion. It's a passion he has. And you're going to get a lot of information right now from Pat that's going to help you in that regard.
So I want to value your time and let you know, we're going to cut through a lot of the noise. I know BJ talked about all the challenges, the variables, all the considerations. And that's business, right? There are always going to be a lot of moving parts you're going to have to sift through. You're going to have to be decisive. You're going to have to really focus and make good decisions. So what we want to do today is make a promise to answer some questions, to simplify some things for you so you can really leave this presentation saying, you know what, I feel good about this. I know where I'm going next to be successful online. So the first thing that I would tell you is we want to help you go from overwhelmed to online success, because let's face it, it can be overwhelming when you're kind of diving into a new market, when you're trying to figure out the things that BJ was talking about, like where am I going to host stuff? How am I going to connect with people? What platforms to use? We're going to simplify that for you. We're going to reduce the overwhelm. We're going to give you a roadmap to transitioning part or all of your business online, more or less transitioning your ability to coach in person to coaching virtually. And then we're going to give you strategies to overcome the tech hurdles, content creation, all that stuff. Really, all the things that may have been giving you pause, holding you back, slowing you down. We're going to give you some strategies to overcome that, some hacks, some tips that should make it easier, less daunting, and allow you to really kind of get the ball rolling. And then we want to give you some really straightforward, proven methods to attracting, converting, retaining clients online, because let's face it, to have a business, we have to have a value exchange. We have to have people paying us. So we got to connect with the right people who not only would benefit from our service, but actually are looking for it, that want it, that really feel like, hey man, I finally found the answer and you happen to be it. So the second thing that I think that we really want to unpack for you and give you some clarity on is how you can master this online training landscape, because there's some similarities to what you do offline, and there's some really distinct differences between the online and offline experience. So we want to really help you understand the importance of diversifying your offerings to maximize client engagement, to engage people at different stages of their journey, at different kind of levels of readiness or different kind of modes of intent. We want to give you some time-saving hacks so you can not be overwhelmed by the responsibility of content creation or through program delivery to your clients. And then we want to really help you build and learn how to nurture an online community so that you can not only get clients, but retain them. Because let's face it, some of the inherent advantages that we have in an offline market are just those things where it's like, you know, it's convenient. I know my neighbors go there. There are just some of the things that there are some built-in threads of connectedness that happen online or offline that maybe we take for granted a little bit, that we've learned, especially BJ has learned how to maximize some things that replace those in the online world to keep people staying with you and paying you longer and still retain that level of happiness, that sense of fulfillment and achievement by doing the things that you're providing to them. Now, I do want to tell you that with this path forward, this is a change, and change means challenge, but all improvement comes from change. So you need to commit to this kind of online evolution, because as BJ has mentioned a couple times through, the opportunity is narrowing, right? I mean, we aren't first to the party right now. So you need to commit if you're going to take advantage of this. And that means you have to be willing to embrace continual learning. You have to learn to embrace continual learning and improvement. And you've got to be willing to kind of sift through and keep your eyes on the prize and avoid shiny objects. And more importantly than anything else, if now's your time, you need to take action. So let's dive into strategy number one, and that's the power of the digital vehicle. Now, the digital revolution is here. We've talked about this kind of over and over, and I think you get it. I think you understand that, man, so much of my world is consumed on a phone. It's consumed, you know, on a computer. It's screen driven. We're here. We're in the middle of it. And so when we're thinking about why training is the future, well, training is being where somebody is, right? We need to be able to connect with that person, and that is where they are. That is the easiest way to connect with them now. And online training allows us global reach. It allows us to train clients anywhere, and doesn't matter if you're in the same time zone, if you're in the same neighborhood, if you're in the same zip code, none of it matters anymore. You can serve people that you have a unique solution that's going to benefit them without geographic constraints. And the bell's been rung. It's never coming back. Okay. We're never going back to, you know, this, hey, you only can train people locally. If it's not in your neighborhood, it doesn't exist. But you also have this wonderful flexibility now to offer programs that really can fit into anybody's schedule. I always think of online training as anytime, anywhere training, right? So it's training you take with you instead of training you have to go to. And that is one of the most important things in the landscape that we're operating in today, because convenience is paramount, right? People want convenience as much as they want anything. Now, online training also is such a golden opportunity because of scalability. There are opportunities for you to serve really as many people as you want without having to expand your physical footprint. You don't need to go from a 2,000 square foot facility to a 5,000 to a 10,000 to a 20,000. You don't have to go have multiple locations. You can scale, and the expense, the overhead, the responsibility, it's not scaling proportionally with the number of people that you serve. And so that's power, right? That's leverage that is really unmatched, and it's really cost effective. I started my first business with $2,500. I bootstrapped like crazy. And frankly, the opportunity to do that and be competitive in the offline world is disappearing, right? Because the competition is so much greater in the offline world. You have the Orange Theories, you have the Planet Fitnesses that have Class A real estate. They have these prime locations. So it's harder to compete if you're bootstrapping in the offline sense, but the opportunity is still there to do it online, because all the overhead that you're going to have online, man, you could have a showpiece business for less than you could have kind of the dingiest little side alley gym in the offline world. And then you can be so innovative in the online world, right? Like you can be creative, you can be nimble, you can create specialized modules, you can diversify what you're doing with challenges. And frankly, I'll tell you the other reason, and I know BJ already alluded to it, but online training is the future in many ways, because we want to mitigate our risk while maximizing our upside. And whether we're talking about a pandemic or an economic downturn or whatever, online training is just incredibly adaptable, right? You're not stuck with this one market. So if this one market starts to kind of tank a little bit because of the economy, it's so much easier to pivot, right? It's so much easier to kind of evolve and shift and adapt. There's so many different things that you can do. In fact, we saw this like crazy. I know we've talked about the fact that I've coached business owners. I've coached some of the most successful business owners in the world in our industry. All the business owners we had in coaching programs, and I say we because Justin was right beside me in all this. We had one business go under during the pandemic, one. And they were somebody who wasn't allowed to pivot to online training. That was it. They were a franchisee and they were handcuffed. They couldn't do that. Everybody else stayed afloat. Everybody else was able to stay solvent. They were able to navigate the choppiest waters we've ever seen during my lifetime. And that should give you some certainty, some reassurance that, man, this is not only an exciting or, potentially kind of neat new profit center, but it's security for you to have the income, the lifestyle, the longevity that you want. So let's talk about the two faces of online training for a minute, because really online training falls into two buckets generally. Now, the first kind of side of this is individualized program design. Now, if you've been in the training industry for any period of time, I mean, that's just business, right? Like that's the way that we learned it. It was one-on-one training. It was individual programs for people. Everything was customized, and it's personal. It feels individual and unique to each client that you have. And it's great because it can command really high prices because it's a premium offering. But let's face it, there's a capacity constraint. It's time intensive. It just requires a lot of TLC on a continual basis. And so it limits the amount of scale you have. And it also limits some of your freedom because you're tethered to this small group of individuals. And they know they're paying a premium price, so there's no ability to kind of create a little bit of space between you and them. Now, for the other side of this, we're going to talk about membership sites. And I know BJ is as much of an expert about this as anybody could be, so I'm going to hand this back off to him.
All right, Pat, thank you so much for that. And, the power of membership sites, some of this is kind of self-explanatory, but we might as well just talk about, the true value in this and what it can mean to your business, right? Obviously, the scalability. I had hundreds of people come through my boot camp in my gym, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to the Fitness Asylum. Still, by the way, in action in Bayview, Wisconsin, to one of the trainers we had back in the day who took that over when I decided to make the online shift. But obviously online, hundreds can become thousands. You know, I've reached millions of people through the work I've done, and also the global impact of this. And it just allows you to really resonate with people and just not only reach more people, but also provide different offerings, right? Beginner, advanced, equipment specific, goal specific, stuff that is, not as easy to do in person because you just can't find enough people to make that type of offering make sense, right? So there's the scalability, there's the passive income side of this, right? I mean, I'll tell you what, there's nothing like sending out an email newsletter or sharing a video and just people from all over the world are giving you money. Now, look, we're not taking people's money without giving them a lot of value, right? That's part of it too. For someone to not even know, like, it's a lot easier to get someone's money in person, right? Especially if you're a good salesperson and use high pressure tactics, right? Or, scarcity. But online, for someone to give you their money, the level of credibility and trust and just professionalism and polish you have to present, it's awesome. It's great. Like, you can be on vacation. And like, I love going out to lunch with my wife and looking at an email. We made a sale, especially early on in this process. It's fun, and it just gives you some energy because, ultimately it's harder than ever. I feel like in a lot of ways, a lot of us feel like we're working 10 times as hard and than we used to have to make a certain amount of money, right? Or we're just like out there fighting for scraps. So the ability to generate money passively, it just means a lot. And you're going to have ebbs and flows with your energy, motivation, etc. With the grind of doing stuff in person. So whatever you can do passively, you do it. And it's not just, by the way, the passive income from online fitness, but, affiliate options, whether it's equipment or supplements or whatever else you're talking about, apparel, all ways in which to differentiate, diversify, and just give yourself a bigger base for your business. Obviously, community building. There is nothing that will ever replace an offline local gym in terms of the community and culture you can build. But you can still create that online. It's not as easy. People online, they're different types of cats. They tend to be more intrinsically motivated, right? They don't need you there with them. They tend to be super busy. These are busy parents and professionals, oftentimes executives, or just people constantly traveling, or they have got families and stuff. So really time, it's all about time and saving their time and making it as easy as possible and as user-friendly as possible. So again, because of that, they don't put as much time into the community aspect, but you can still build that. That's what a membership provides. That's different than a product, right? That someone just buys and does on their own. But you want to diversify and offer both challenges, modules, the benefit of this too, if you have an online business of just general fitness programming, there's always going to be about 10 to 25% of people that are going to want and or need more personal attention. So you can offer virtual FaceTimes. I was charging $300 a session during parts of the pandemic for people that want individual coaching, whether I take them through a workout or we just talk through some things, whether it be their diet, that were members of my online community. So again, there is the ability to upsell or cross-sell from a base general fitness subscription or product offering as well. And then obviously the cost-effective nature of this. My members, basic members are $25 a month, advanced members are $50 a month. And there's a free trial. So no matter what, unless it's like Planet Fitness, I don't know what is it. They can probably charge dirt cheap personal training sessions, but you know what they're getting, right? This is as cost-effective as it gets. It's less than $1 a day. Okay, it's less than $1 a day. Now, some people still can't afford that, but honestly, it's because they don't prioritize it. They're spending money on the Starbucks coffee and other things, more material nature, and they're not investing in themselves. Because I believe, Justin believes, Pat believes, the best investment is always self-investment. Those are the things I've always gotten a 10 times return on. Everything else to me is gambling. So this is actually a term that Justin coined called the progressive programming pathway, or P3. All right. And you guys love the letter and the number combinations, don't you? But This is how in today's age, right? 10, 11 years ago, it's just about getting the workouts out, making them fun and cool and sexy and all that good stuff, which is great. And I think we can still apply that to the online business. Part of what's great about online training or workouts you make, you can take more risks, right? Because there's more people you're reaching and you're learning and you're gathering data. What do they like? What do they don't like? In person, it's a little riskier, right? Because you got 20, 30 people in your boot camp. And if half of them don't like it, it's going to affect your bottom line. But ultimately, everyone is pretty much in this space now. I don't mean this in a negative way if you're not offering an online business or option for your clients right now, but just the reality, if you have what consumers are looking for right now, it's kind of industry best practice or gold standard. People expect when they come into a gym that you also have some stuff they can do when they travel, all right, when they can't make it to the gym on a snow day or a cold day or a rain day or all the other crazy environmental situations going on in the world right now. It's just an expectation in today's 2024 reality. But not everyone provides structured, progressive programming. Like it's just a bunch of random workouts. The trainer on the board, 5 to 10 movements on the whiteboard. This is what we're doing today. Look, that's gotten us where we are today. But the part of the journey and all this stuff, we're always trying to improve and evolve and get better. And again, competition does what? It makes us step our games up. The workouts I was sharing 10 years ago, in terms of how much I've gotten better over the last 10 years to stay in this business, to make it through the pandemic. For Justin, like Justin knows this like better than anybody else because he actually had a gym during the pandemic and he found a way to get on the other side of it like many other people couldn't. All right. And what it took is a holistic approach, a client-centric program design, and a results-driven focus. Going ahead and say, I'm going to make you 1 year progressive workouts. We're going to start at ground zero in month 1, and I'll get you to superhero by the end of it. I'll give you all the stepping stones in between. An engineer's mindset. This is what's different than the Planet Fitness trainers out there, right? Or just the more celebrity-driven, good-looking entertainment, smile workouts you get on things like Peloton, right? They assume that you're an idiot. And they think all I got to do is make it fun. All I got to do is get you sweaty, sore, and tired, and you'll keep showing up. But what happens if that goes away? You've learned nothing. There's no empowerment. There's no education. There's no physical education or culture, really. All right? They're just confusing you as you go from one thing to the other. The ultimate fitness tumbleweed. That's why we are where we are today. And that constant New Year's cycle of I'm going to change my whole health and fitness every January, and by February, by Super Bowl Sunday, you've already quit. That's because that old approach doesn't work. We need progression built into this. And, obviously we've already mentioned Peloton 5 times at this point. So it's not just like, how do I put this PC wise? I hate Peloton. Why do I hate Peloton? Because Peloton to me is like the big pharma of fitness. And I think big fitness is absolute BS because it's not going to solve our problems. And you look at their ads, this rich guy in his Manhattan skyrise on a $2,000 bike, living the dream. It's fitness for the rich. They're not the people that need this, right? They're not the people that are having the worst health outcomes ever or dealing with obesity and metabolic syndrome, too tired to work their second or third job just to survive, right? And they're celeb-driven workouts. They know all I got to do is get on Oprah or get some fitness influencer to hawk my product, and that's what the average dumb, stupid fitness consumer is going to buy into. Look, I'm just telling you, this is the reality of it. I know what it is. It's a very cynical, disgusting approach to helping people improve their lives. They don't really care. It's a corporatized culture. What happens when something goes corporate? They squeeze all the soul and heart and joy and creativity out of it, and what you get is just a tablet. The cheapest way to get it out there to as many people as possible, and it's lost what it truly should be, which is this is a good workout. It sets the tone for your day. It energizes you. It gives you confidence. It allows you to believe that if I can do this with my physical body, I can do anything with my mental capacity, and I can do anything outside of the gym. And it's all about entertainment over empowerment. They don't want to teach you because then what happens if you leave, right? But ultimately, what's crazy about empowerment gives people, they build these winning habits and they buy into the program. And what happens from a membership standpoint, they become advanced clientele. What does that mean? They will pay more money for more structured, intense programming. So they're not, actually, it's the exact opposite. Big Fitness thinks, they'll end up leaving, going somewhere else. Well, that's because you didn't teach them anything and you can't walk them up the ladder. There's no progression. So that's the difference between what we're trying to do and we're trying to teach you today versus the Pelotons of the world. They're just going to throw as much money at the problem as possible. And then their shareholders and the people at the top, they're going to exit the moment that cycle is done, right? When people realize, oh, wow, all I can do on a stationary bike is pedal this way. Maybe I can go backwards too, and I can get off the bike and use different stuff. But really, let's be honest about this. People sit all day. Is the solution really sitting all day and then going to sit to work out and do your cardio? Come on. The TDBJ community. I launched this in June of 2017, right after I left Men's Health. We grew it to about 2,000 members at $9.69 per month. Initially, it kind of evolved into basically a two-tiered option where we had about 700 basic members at 10 to $25 a month because we grandfathered in the original members back in the day. And then we had an advanced programming option, almost 200 people at $50 a month. Like I talked about, because I have progression and because I learned so much in the programming, you can start to tier and push your people in different directions to best customize an online offering. And you can diversify with product sales. That's a big part of what we did too, is there's some subscription fatigue, surely, right? Everyone's got 10 different apps they're subscribed to. And it's kind of crazy. There were 3 cable channels back in the day. Now then there became 1,500 channels. And now there's all these different platforms providing stuff. So people's attention spans are just scattered and just, it's confusing. It's kind of chaotic. Some people just want to pay more money for a one-time sale. I'm not going to fight that. You got to be fluid. You got to be like Bruce Lee, be water. Don't just slam into a brick wall. You do that as a business owner, you're going to burn out fast. You got to listen, you got to pay attention, and you got to find a way to meet as many people where they're at as possible. And again, some might say, how is this Men's Health guy only making $250,000 in revenue last year from this? Well, look, it's just my wife and I. I could build it up to 7 figures. I need about a 3 to 5 person team to do that. I don't like managing people, okay? And frankly, we make money a lot of different ways. We sell equipment through affiliate options. We do, as I mentioned, the products. We have our own apparel line. My wife has her own podcast. So again, it's not about how much you're making, I'm making. This is about building your own dream lifestyle. And that's what it's about for me. I want to spend as much time with my wife and my dog as possible. I want to watch my Lakers games. Okay. I want to do my own workouts and my own recovery, just as Justin does with his wife, Janelle, and his dogs. So it's not about how much money you can make possibly, but unless that's your goal, it's about how can I build my dream lifestyle. And I've done that the exact way I'm talking about right now about the show coming up. Okay. So that's how I want to approach this for you. Comparison is the thief of joy. There's plenty of people making more money than me, making less money than me. I don't care about that. I live in Palm Springs, California. I came from nothing. All right. My dad came from North Africa 30 some years ago with the shirt on his back to this country. All right. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, just like Justin, suffering through the cold winters of the Midwest. So for me, this is a dream. I'm not comparing it to anybody else. And I don't want you to compare your journey in this or starting with this to what I'm doing, because we've got different paths. But there are some tried and proven strategies to make this work coming up right now. So I'm going to share this with you. And this is the cynical viewers amongst us. So this is not fake. This is literally the subscriber report from Vimeo for 2023 of our churn rate. And I will describe one quick thing here, whereas there's a big inflection point kind of around the end to the start of the year from 2022 to 2023. And by the way, you're going to see that with any subscription business in fitness, because this is where you get new people coming in, right? Every new year, the New Year fitness resolutions, you get the tire kickers, people that try it out. It's not for them. Doesn't make them bad people. Online fitness is not for everyone. Some people are just going to need someone to hold their hand, scream at them, and watch them do their workouts. That's okay. All right. Those people you can continue to serve. The people that don't need that, they realize that they make it work. And I also had to, by the way, because I use Vimeo, and Vimeo didn't have multiple tiered options for subscription. I could only give one subscription offering. So I had to have my advanced people who wanted to pay twice as much cancel their subscription and then buy a product which gave them the content over the course of a year. So that made that a little bit higher than normal. But after that, by the way, this is about as low as it gets in terms of people leaving your site. And what was interesting too, because the programming was progressive, you'll notice the highest retention or the lowest churn meaning people leaving, is towards the end of the program. Because what happens after about 4 to 6 months of doing something consistently? Your body changes, your habits change, your overall perspective on things inside and outside of the gym change, and there's total buy-in. And that's what this programming can deliver. I'm going to let Justin jump in too, because I think some people don't realize like what the churn rate is and how it differs from online to offline.
Yeah, no, thanks for letting me jump in, because this is such an important slide that people need to understand, because this points back to the P3, right? The progressive program pathway. And this is something you can learn even for your offline business if you have it. A little more challenging as people are coming in at different times, but it's something I do in my own gym. And taking this actually from stuff that I learned from BJ, over a decade ago. And Pat alluded to this. I've been doing business coaching for trainers for over a decade alongside Pat. And I can tell you right now, just looking at this churn rate, most gym owners, physical training gym owners, would love to have this churn rate, right? So you need to understand, like, BJ is getting a retention level with an online subscription business that's better than most offline businesses are getting or can even dream of, right? So that's something that's really, really important that you need to understand. That if you're going to build an online business, this is one of the lessons in this webinar, in this training, that you need to take away. This idea of, okay, I'm not just going to build a library of workouts. We're not trying to build the Netflix of workouts. BJ actually did the Netflix of workouts years ago. And he found that by putting in progressive programming, much like you would with a one-on-one client. So we're treating this very similar to a one-on-one client, but delivering it in a large capacity format through the membership site. That's why it also has the 2 different levels as well. This is a really, really important takeaway, right? Writer downer. If I'm going to go build an online program, let me do it in a progressive way so I can get clients from zero to superhero, as BJ said, but also I get maximum retention. And what do you think that's going to do for referrals? So I just want to point that out.
I appreciate that, man. And again, I'm about to share with you right now my exact business model. And some of you could say, well, like, this guy's crazy for doing this because, I'll just replicate it. The thing is, this is just one piece of the puzzle. You have to then make all of the content to fulfill this offering. So, but at the same time too, even if you don't decide to take advantage of what will be a very special offer for you guys towards the end of this, so watch all the way till the end. I'm going to give you exactly how I've set things up for today's climate to succeed online, and also to do it in a way that meets, not only beginners, free trialists, or the eternal beginner, if you will, but also advanced users looking for, maybe more muscle or strength gain as they evolve in their fitness journey. So I call the basic membership express, fast, fun, and effective workouts for busy parents and professionals. Not sexy, but it's what it is. It's very predictable content that they come to expect, a tried and proven format that does what? Saves them time. That's what this is about. Time is the number one excuse when it comes to working out. I mean, people have motivation or they have whatever else, but like ultimately, even if they take on a challenge, like people can do P90X, 90-minute workouts for 90 days. They don't do it for a year or 2 years, right? That it's a short-term thing, and then there's no exit strategy. And that's why people ebb and flow. Now, the reality is what I found, and again, our basic price point is $25 a month, or you can offer a 10 to 20% discount for a paid in full. So you decide you want to set that up, and paid in fulls are nice because you get that annual commitment as well, but they can also potentially hurt your ability to make monthly income as well. So again, you do what you want to do, but that's how we've set it up. I found in all my time in doing this, the 3-20-52 training split for the average Joe or Jane busy parent professional, meaning 3 full body workouts a week, 20 minutes each, 52 weeks of the year. This is what has given them the most success. It's the most sustainable way to do this. And the beauty of this too is after they do this for a year and they know they can do it, some of them say, okay, this is perfect. I want to keep doing it this way. And then there is about 25, 50% of them that want to say, you know what, I want to take it to the next level. And that's what I'll be talking about next. The ability to go right up to something else, a graduate program, or just stay on this course. And that's great as well. And, you know, the way I've set it up too, this crowd, they tend to prioritize variety over structure. And that changes, by the way. What's interesting too is as you get more advanced, you're actually more willing to do the same thing over and over again because there's more buy-in to the fact that in reality, you know, you can't just do a workout once or twice to get the most out of it. Sometimes it can take 6 or even 12 exposures to a workout to max out the benefits. But that's the ongoing education piece. You gotta know the consumer and where they're at right now. I don't make the rules, okay? I just pay attention to behavior, and this is what seems to make the most sense. So we actually give them 6 monthly workouts. They rotate between Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a fortnight, if you will, for the people from the 16th century watching. And then they just repeat that one more time through. So they don't repeat any given workout more than once in a given month, which still allows them to see, oh, I did so much better this time than last time. I was able to go harder for longer, take less rest, maybe take on a harder variation or bump up the loads, you know? So, and what we do too is as a content creator for a long time, again, I talked about the sustainability for the consumer. Maybe they can do 40-minute workouts for January when they're super excited, but if they know in February they can't, then there's no point in ever starting at 40, all right? In the same regards for me, for you, we need time off. We need time where we can kind of back off a little bit. There's also times of the year where people aren't as able to learn new stuff and they're even busier, like June and December, which is why we have, you know, June, school gets out, vacations. December, holidays, end of year, busy, all this stuff. So we actually create mid and end of year reviews in June and December where they cycle back through all of the bodyweight workouts they already know they don't have to relearn because they're already super busy, but they kind of, again, they see the built-in progress. They go back to some of the quote-unquote easier basic training workouts, and they're seeing the improvement. They're also getting some built-in recovery there. It's kind of like a mid, you know, I look at this like a pro athlete because I train people that way. I train myself that way, and everyone has an athletic body, and I believe an athletic mindset is what makes you stay the course with this stuff. And then again, you got to have videos and PDFs to support the content. We're no longer in the age where you can just make an iPhone video and just throw it up without any sort of production quality. And again, clean images, they just help increase the ability to charge a price you need to charge to make money in this space. And you can see on the screen too, just our average users just enjoying the content. Justin, please.
Yeah, a couple things here I need to share. One, first of all, you continue to teach me things because now I know what the hell a fortnight actually means. So I appreciate that. This is, again, I got to point these things out, you know, being the coach that I am to fitness professionals, there's a lot that was on this slide that you can easily overlook. Okay. You know, we talked obviously heavily about the progressive programming, but really understanding, and don't try to think, oh, well, my clients are different, my people are different. Because one of the things you're going to learn is as you're building out your online program, you're actually going to be working with different clients, right? So the clients that are coming to your gym, right, especially if you structure it this way, they're used to maybe a 45-minute to an hour workout, and they feel like they're getting gypped if you do shorter workouts. Trust me, I've tried, and I have to educate hard when we go into more like deloading weeks and phases in my training, because I am a progressive program pathway guy in my offline business as well. You get pushback, okay? You do get pushback, but this is a different clientele. This is a clientele that wants a 20-minute workout in and out. So respect the professional, I will say. And BJ has done longer workouts, shorter workouts. He's played with it all. And he has found that to not only get, you know, membership up as high as 2,000 members and having a churn rate of 3%, really understanding that these shorter workouts, okay, the bi-weekly rotation, which is a blend of, you know, variety with repetitiveness, which we do need in workouts. And you're going to see him show how he does more repetitiveness in the advanced workouts, because advanced people get it and they're willing to adapt to that. And then really taking into account, it's genius, this mid-year and end year, he calls it a review. It's a great way to sell it. It's a great way to sell to the user, hey, look, you need regression, so to speak, and we're actually going to use this as an opportunity to show you Think about this from a business standpoint. You're going to see how much you've accomplished over the last 6 months or 5 months, right? Because in month 6, we're going to go and repeat a variety of the workouts that BJ selects from that first 5 months, and they're going to go, holy crap, I am rocking these workouts compared to last time. Psychologically, they're like, this is working for me. He does that twice a year. So you get 2 benefits. You get 2 times a year where the client goes, holy shit, this works. And 2 times a year from a behind the scenes standpoint, BJ gets a breather. So please, guys, if you have to stop and rewind this, do so, and then really pay strict attention to as he gets into the advanced content next.
I appreciate that, man. And again, that's part of it too, is like a lot of us, like I go back to, and I was there, by the way, as that fat kid in gym class. We do these tests and I couldn't do a pull-up, or I finished last in the mile, right? There's anxiety around testing, but part of what this is too, we got to show that this stuff works, that there's progress. So the beauty of this is it's like anxiety-free, no extra time required testing and progress tracking. They can see it, they can feel it. And part of it too, I think the biggest mistake we make as trainers or fit pros, especially, online, is we don't look at other online streaming subscription sites, right? They can't make nonstop content. They're going to burn out, and it's not practical. It's not sustainable. These are across industry, standards. You give people content, you take a break, you come back and give them more, right? But you keep them going. Like you can rewatch some stuff and you can check in some stuff, and so it's just a great approach. And part of what's important as well is clean, concise organization, right? I know you can make, and I can make the most crazy, awesome workouts that maybe a fit pro will appreciate, but in my times and my dealings, if I can't put a workout on one page, it's too complicated for the consumer, especially the busy person looking to get things done in 20 minutes. So with every workout, with every month of training, there's a nice clean calendar we provide, printable PDFs. Our older members seem to appreciate still printing things out if they actually have a printer. Other people just look at nice mobile-friendly stuff. And then every workout has a PDF or an image that just outlines it quick, gives them quick goals, what to expect, the exercise list. It's just it just adds value, and it gives people like, this is professional. This isn't just like something that I can get on Instagram, all right? And by the way, you'll even see on Instagram and places like YouTube now, these aren't iPhone videos. These are like highly produced. So if they're giving that for free to get people to pay you, you got to really elevate in terms of, graphic design and stuff like that as well. And in terms of the way the videos look, or I talked about, I think a lot of people, they want to get started online. They're like, I got to make a viral video. And I would equate going out to try to make a viral video like trying to hit a home run or throw a knockout punch every time. What happens? If you connect, great. But then what's next? You get a viral video. You don't have any other videos for people. What's going to happen? They're not going to subscribe. What are they just going to watch that video over and over again? And then it's exhausting to swing hard and miss. What you really need is a tried, proven, predictable format for people. Think about all your favorite shows. They start and end the exact same way. They have a format that they follow time and time again. There is a consistent look and feel, which people need and want. People don't want a new thing that's different in format every time. It confuses them. The brain likes to find a flow and commit to it. So we have a nice quick intro graphic going into a short introduction outlining the workout, into an instructional portion where in about 30 to 60 seconds, I break the moves down with title text and bullets to reinforce the coaching cues, into a timed and automated follow-along format with just music. So it's got the intervals, the work to rest, all that stuff. In between movements, you see what move is next. It's just a really clean format, and there's no talking during the workout, so they can focus. And part of what this is too, I created this system so that I could end up licensing it to trainers. And what I tried to do is not put my personality too much in it so that you can still be the star of the show and coach around the content. And some people just don't like me. So when there's too much personality in the video, that can be a turnoff. So again, what I've created with this particular format, it's the most, it's the best vehicle for people that are busy, that are going to be repeating the workouts and not have to hear the same things over and over again in terms of like, you screaming or yelling during the workout in the follow-along section. And the beauty of it too is we timestamp where to go to the follow-along. So once you know the workout, you don't have to rewatch all of the instructional again if you don't want to. You can just go right to the follow-along. So again, everything's about making it as easy and seamless as possible for the end user.
Yeah, and one thing to jump in here is if you're looking at this slide going, wow, these are beautiful. Like the calendars he showed, the workout chart, and now you're looking at these videos, and it's video editing. This is beautiful. Like if you're like the non-tech person and you're like freaking out right now, just take a breath, grab a drink of water, stick with us. BJ's got more stuff to teach. We're going to show you how to get around this hurdle. Okay, I'll be getting to that pretty soon. How to navigate some of these hurdles. And look, you're trying to run a business. You're going to have to learn some things too. Like that's always the thing. One of the things I always teach my coaching clients I'm working with. Like you got to be willing to tinker. You got to be willing to learn. Right. But what we want to do here, what BJ is helping us do, is like fast forward, if you will. Right. Cut out 10 years of trying to not only figure out how to do it, but figure out what works. So instead, he's already going to tell you what works and show you how to do it.
Great points. Again, I appreciate it. Anytime you want to unpack more of what I'm saying, that helps a lot. Because again, Justin's actually using this content with his people. And he's been a longtime member of the Daily BJ. So if there's anyone that knows this stuff as well as I do, it's him. Now, we talked about the importance. Again, you want to stay in the online game. People that do the 20-minute option for a while. Again, part of what makes it sustainable is that it is not too time consuming, and it's something that doesn't involve a lot of equipment, but people get to a point where, you know what, I'm ready to get a pull-up bar and I want to build more upper body strength. Or I'm ready to get some other pieces of equipment, still very minimal equipment focus that I can do at home or do on the road, but I'm ready to take that next step. So I call it Gorilla Corn Games. And it's basically advanced programming for rare beasts. And this is where you can start to create more culture and community. Because again, these types of people, it's self-reinforcing, right? They want to become the rare beast, and they tend to want to invest more time. They tend to interact more in the comments. They tend to interact more with each other. So this is where, because of all that, the buy-in and making it more of a priority, the community building can go to a next level with this. They also are willing to pay a lot more for this advanced content. We charge $50 a month, or you can do a paid in full option as well at a 10 to 20% discount. And it's not nothing to get nearly $600 from someone for a year of programming online. That's not easy. And it takes a lot of time and effort and setup and thought that goes into this, which I'm sharing with you right now. And with them, because it is a more advanced option, we go 3 weeks on with 1 week of active recovery. And the workouts are still on a 3 time per week basis with days of rest in between and weekends off. But the workouts are 40 minutes instead of 20. And all we're doing, and this is the genius of this, we still are using the basic express content. We're just adding on to it. So they start with a 20-minute muscle gain workout, and they do a 20-minute fat loss workout. So it's shred meets gains. It's the best of both worlds. And it's also great in the sense that maybe someone says, okay, I want to try the advanced, and maybe it's just too much time for them, or it's just they're not ready for it yet. They just seamlessly go back to the basic option. You know what I'm saying? Like, that you're not going to lose these people in this way because of the ability to go up and down. And we color code things. Everything is purple. Is more advanced muscle gain. Everything that's red is more fat loss, express, busy person. And that also helps with kind of the user experience as well in terms of finding things, looking and navigating a lot of content on the site. Again, they get 9 new monthly workouts, still in that same bi-weekly rotation for the express workouts. But the muscle gain workouts are set up in a way where, day 1 is upper body, day 2 is lower body, day 3 is core. Then there's still monthly progression, still mid and end of your reviews, the same videos in PDF style is applied. But you can see the big difference in the calendar is they're doing, and again, this is where like people are willing to repeat the workouts more, and they need to, by the way. When we're talking about building strength and muscle, you got to do at least a given workout 3 times. And that's what they do. They do their Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the first 3 weeks of the year, 40 minutes total. And that 4th and final week, because of the higher volume intensity, we deload. They still train, but they just do the full body fat loss, and they cut out the strength and muscle gain to allow the super compensation effect, the growth and repair, and also prevent, injuries from what is. This is like a pro athlete schedule in some ways, right? You need some time off, you need some downtime and get that recovery in. But again, it looks and feels very similar. You just see it's purple, and now these are more muscular bodybuilding style looks versus more full body general fitness looks. And again, that's stuff that I've figured out and taken the time to do that you don't have to worry about if you want to just take my system, my workouts, and run with it today. Justin?
Yeah, this is an important point here when we look at the structure of the the advanced workout. And some of you might be like, well, I would do 40 minutes of muscle gain. Or guys, you got to remember who the audience is here, right? We're talking about busy professionals and parents who are limited on time. They also generally have a higher stress, and they have a lot other things going on in their life that impact their recovery. So no, we don't want to take them through a 40 or a 60-minute muscle gain workout. That's not this target market. That might be an upsell to a third level where you do one-on-one program designed for people and charge $500 a month if you want to. But this is taking that client who we just got them in at the 20-minute mark. We got them a good habit. And for many people, this is like the progression to get them to keep going in year 2, right? And by the way, year 1, people repeat that year after year because they go through it again and they're that much stronger, that much more fit, that much better. They can do this for years. There's progression that way too. But just understanding that sometimes we got to get out of our own heads of what we think the muscle gain or bodybuilding programming is. This is really, truly, as BJ says, the best of both worlds, where shred meets gains for the busy professional, busy parent who is the ultimate target market for this $50 a month subscription service. So pay attention as you're looking at how do I want to structure my online program, right? Learn from the reason we're doing this today. One, we want to be able to share BJ stuff, but two, we want to teach you all that we've learned. And I've been fortunate to witness from the online side of it, being a client of BJ's since it was $9.69, the daily BJ back in the day, right? So to see that progression, see the things he's tried over the years, and some of the things I love, some things I didn't love, right? And I love this, looking at it from both a consumer standpoint, but really also looking at it with my business mindset. So another writer downer, another maybe stop and rewind to really look at how are you going to structure your online program. Learn from the best. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just swipe and deploy. And
to add to that, Justin, and I appreciate that sentiment, the reality of this is too, you want to go out there, you want to make the perfect workout, right? But what does perfectionism do? It leads to procrastination because you keep waiting for the perfect time, or you get it going it's not good enough, right? And ultimately in business, and this is something Pat Rigsby has said for decades, you get paid for done.
Yeah.
That's it. You just got to get the stuff out, and you got to find the best possible way you can do it right now, knowing that it's not going to be perfect, that you're going to try to improve and get better and better. And by the way, this is the 4th straight year of me running this annual progressive programming, and I finally nailed it.
Yeah.
And so I'm taking a break from it right now, a little bit, but where I had made mistakes in the previous 4 years, the workouts maybe got too long or they got too complicated, and I got too Russell Crowe beautiful mind with it, and I didn't think about the end user. I was thinking more about how can I make the best possible, where I think a lot of you are. And again, those are good problems to make. If you're going to make problems, you trying to make the best possible thing ever, that's awesome. The reality is you just got to get this content out, and you got to do the best you can, and you got to find a consistent format that works.
And that might work well. Some of those beautiful mind crazy programs might work really well for a product. So if you guys think this concept of you need to have a smooth subscription service that keeps people engaged, and the structure, and maybe you can explain how, for example, X1 then goes to X7, which goes to X13. Maybe explain that just a little bit, because that progression, that looking forward to, is really important in subscription service. Whereas if you want to have this super duper charged, beautiful mind workout, that's a great product opportunity.
Yeah, and by the way, that's part as I step back now from just taking a breath after all this work. I now have some just like in the gym, you got to build a base.
Yep.
This content becomes your base, and then now I have the ability to go out there and take some shots and try to make a beautiful mind workout. But maybe I'll have to make one of those a month, and that's bonus content, right? So again, it just gives you the ability to step away and take a breath and still find the joy in pushing the limits. But again, you need a base, and people need the word predictable is a bad word to people, or basic is a bad word. No, this is the foundation of everything, right? And then we can add the cherries on top. To Justin's point, everything was thought of in how I set this up. X1 through 60, the 60 express full body workouts. The earlier numbers are easier. The higher numbers are harder. And for example, X1 is connected to X7, to X13, to X19, and so forth. So every one of these workouts there's 9 workouts that follow that they're connected to, that if this one's too hard, you can go back to this one. And maybe you have to do this workout a little bit more, right? And then all the odd numbered workouts are body weight. All the even numbered workouts use additional equipment, but not anything crazy. We're talking dumbbells, bands, med ball. All right. And it's the same thing with the Gorilla Core content, but the Gorilla Core content is the only difference is that we need a pull-up bar, dip bars, to do more advanced like calisthenic exercises, but we're still using the basic equipment from the Express. So again, there's more buy-in. People understand, like, how are we going to train your back if we don't ever do pull-ups? At some point, you got to get a $37 pull-up bar. You can hang on your door. Again, nothing crazy. I'm not asking you to go buy a $2,000 stationary bike with a screen.
Fuck Peloton.
Fuck Peloton. I'm going to take a moment here quickly too. As I made this content not just for my members, but also with the goal of saying, you know what, trainers, let me give you not just my business model, but my actual content so you can get started right away, making more, working less remotely. And in doing so, I've been beta testing this with a gentleman named Jeff McDaniel, a longtime supporter of what we do. And I was doing some FaceTime coachings with him. So I'm like, you know what, I'm going to give this to you in advance so you can start using this. He is a gym owner, just like you, but he's based in Little Rock, Arkansas. And this is a text I got from him recently. He's been using this to start 2024. People are loving it. They like how they can quickly get the instructions, go right into the follow-along format. They even like the fact that they're enjoying the bearded shirtless guy in the videos, which is also great to hear. But again, like, Jeff is a very capable programmer. He's excellent at what he does. You know, Jeff's in his 50s. He's not as tech savvy. Okay. And frankly, he's busy helping people, and he doesn't have as much time to film and make workouts and the cost of making the images and the editing, all that stuff. So it's just been a nice way for Jeff to just seamlessly plug this in. And here's a quick message from Jeff that he sent me as well in terms of how Online Workout Automator has helped his business.
I'm Jeff McDaniel with Fast Fit, and I want to tell you about BJ Gaddour's licensed online content. I've been in the gym game now for 18 years. I've seen it all and I've tried it all. And really, when I look back at those humble beginnings, probably the single biggest catalyst for growth was actually BJ's Bootcamp Automator program. It not only, put my business on autopilot, but it launched my first online business back when online training was in its infancy. So I've always kind of credited that as one of the biggest game changers until now. And I implemented his licensed content this year. It is already, just in the first month, impacted me in such a way that I'm going to be able to walk away from a physical gym if I choose to. My subscriber base is at an all-time high. And really, look, I have provided home travel workouts for my clients for 15 years. I know how to do it, but this is a different level. I mean, I would never have the time to create this level of polish and professionalism. And I now have 90, as he says, DVD level instructional plus 20-minute follow-along workout that has given me the ultimate library for fat loss programs, muscle gain programs, bulletproofing your joints, and general fitness. And I can now use this as a monthly recurring digital membership, but I can also create these splinter programs from this 90 workout database and sell each one as a standalone product. I now have a dumbbell program, a band program, an all body weight program, a med ball program. It's funny, but right now I'm currently selling a 6-week boxing program for ladies from this database, and they love it. So, look, for me, I've been looking for the escape plan from a gym lease, physical in-person training. This is my gateway to freedom. So, I mean, if you can relate to that, I can't emphasize how much you are going to love this product. There's literally nothing out there like it.
All right. So, look, I shared that I made about $250,000 in just the subscription income from this in 2023, not to mention what I'm going to be making this year and just selling all the splintered products off of it, which we'll talk about. Not to mention the fact that I'm licensing the content, right? But look, it all starts very modestly. Like right now, I'm going through this on YouTube. I'm really trying to make a focus on building my YouTube channel. And I'm at the point now where, again, I do whatever it takes. And that's one thing I want to impress upon you too. You can't just expect, BJ's going to do all the work for me and I'm just going to be, I just have to put the videos up and that's all it is. No, it's a job. All right. And I'm so into it right now that I watch my own YouTube videos so I can get the ad revenue. Whenever I post a new YouTube video, I'm the first one to watch it and like it. That's the stage I'm at because that's the type of cat I am. I do whatever it takes. And right now I'm just squeezing out $5 extra a day in ad revenue. I'm at that space right now, but I know where it's going to go.
We'll make sure I watch your videos during my lunch hours. I will just put them on the background. Put them on the background.
Please like, share, and subscribe this video too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it starts small, and again, with consistency, amazing things can happen. If you have a successful offline business or a local gym, I've got no doubt you guys can find 25 to 50 people to do this with online. And what does that mean? Like, what does that translate to? You know, at 20 a month, 20 members is $400 extra a month in revenue. And again, because a lot of us in this space are fighting for scraps right now, and sometimes even breaking even or losing money to stay in this business, any extra stuff you can add, it really matters. It really does. That's where we are right now. Maybe good times will happen down the road eventually. We all hope, we pray. But all we can do right now is just do the hard work, diversify. And, you know, again, from the standpoint of building up to 50 members at 20 a month, 1,000 a month, that's 12,000 extra dollars a year. You know, that matters to me. That could be, you know, an amazing series of vacations, or it could be getting your own sauna or hot tub. You know, again, I don't know what big bucket items you have, or like things that the carrots you're chasing that really motivate you, but this has a very high margin, right? That's the difference between this in a lot of ways. Like, if you set this up properly and you don't have a lot of cost to create and fulfill, you know, unlike an offline business where you have the overhead and you have different things like equipment you need to get and replace. This is money that matters beyond the fact that we have a product model you can take with this content and sell one-time products. Some of you have just sat around for the last, I don't know how many years, watching other people make a shit ton of money on Cyber Monday, but you have nothing to sell. Now you'll have that potential as well. So whether it be subscription products or ideally both, as we're trying to push on you guys, you got to find as many ways as possible to squeeze out and collect these coins in a competitive environment. It starts small, but who knows what this can be for you in 5 to 10 years. Maybe you use my content for year one as kind of a stopgap, right? It's allowing you a year to make your own content. All right. Or, by the way, I'm going to make more and I can have more ready for you at the end of the year too. But ultimately, you got to make this what it is for you. It's not going to be easy, but it's certainly going to be a lot more possible than if you try to do all this by yourself today, because frankly, that ship has sailed for most people. Justin?
All right, guys. So I want to get into this second blueprint because it's really important. BJ has shared so much with you. You can obviously guess by now he's got an opportunity for you to use his stuff, but I want to address what might be going through your head. Certainly went through mine. And one of the things to know about me as just an individual, as a business coach, as a fitness coach, you know, I am kind of what is known, if you've ever done strength finders, I'm a maximizer. Right. So I take things and I figure out how to make them really work and work to their best capacity. Right. So that's where this is a great blend of us working together here. But I want to get into this myth of self-creation when it comes to content. Right. It's one of the biggest myths I've encountered, even among myself, something I had to break myself of, is this myth that if you didn't create the content yourself, it's somehow less authentic. Right. And that is just not true. Right. We've got to look at the fact that we've got this pressure, right? Many trainers, they feel this immense pressure to constantly churn out new content, right? It's like being on a treadmill that just keeps on speeding up. If you just try to create content just to be, you know, out there on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, whatever it is, you know how exhausting that gets. And that's not a workout video. That's just trying to get a post a day out, right? So here's the thing that you need to understand. More doesn't always mean better. My wife has a saying, it's better is, you don't need more. More is not better. Better is better, right? So it's about the impact of the content, not just the volume, right? And that's something you really need to take into account with not only building your online business in terms of the content for the training side of it, but even with getting out onto the socials as well. So what truly defines authentic content, right? The reality of authenticity isn't just about who made the content. It's about the connection and the trust that you build with your clients, right? So your clients, they trust you, right? They value the relationship they have with you. And that's really where the authenticity lies, right? But it's your unique touch that makes a difference, right? You can take expertly crafted content like BJ provides, and you can make it your own, right? It's about that personal touch that you add where you can align it with your philosophy. It's the same thing. Again, if you're going to go try to get out on the socials to get your name out there, there's pre-made content that you can get. You can use things like ChatGPT to help you create content. Now, you'll see that a lot of people do that, and it's really inauthentic because they didn't add their unique touch to it. And that's the key difference. There's a quick lesson there for you. If not only putting content out on social media or in your newsletters, but obviously here in your training programs as well, right? It's the connection that matters. So, where we use that here is in how are you communicating with those clients in that membership site, whether it be through forums, emails as you're delivering the workouts. It's a whole strategy behind how we deliver the workouts to clients, where you create that connection and it becomes you that they're focused on, not the guy in the video, right? That's really important. So like the power of leveraging. Right. There's a saying, and I'm sure you've heard it, right? If I've seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Right. So why not leverage the expertise of those who paved the way? I mean, that's what Pat and I do with business coaching. So what BJ has done, for me for, a decade and a half from a training standpoint. I love programming and I still do a lot of programming. But I've got this binder over here I mentioned here earlier that I reference. I've got the Daily BJ that I reference. Why wouldn't I? Right? He's done the work, right? Why wouldn't I leverage that, right? So using expert content as your foundation, it gives you a head start, right? It's like having a secret weapon in your arsenal. And I like the way the BJ put it too. Like maybe you want to use some expertly pre-made content that just gets you kind of going on the runway so that it gives you time to, you're making money along the way while you're over here building your content behind it. Right? Why would you wait until your content is done? Or God, worse is having that pressure of, oh crap, I have to have content for tomorrow. That's a horrible position to be in. I've been there myself, right? So I want you to save time and I want you to save energy, right? Think about the amount of hours that you save when you leverage other people's content, right? That time can be redirected towards building deeper client relationships, which is where the authenticity lies, right? And it can be into growing your business because there is a whole business component to a business. It's not just about making great workouts or putting out great content, right? There is the administrative side of it. There is the client connecting side of it, right? So you free up some time to be able to do what really matters, okay? So how do you make this content truly your own, right? That's where personalization over creation really comes in. This is really where the magic happens, is taking pre-made content and infusing it with your own touch, right? It's just like if you're going to go out and buy those like pre-packaged or pre-made like social media posts. How do you make it your own? That's the difference, okay? So branding, right? Your brand is powerful. Like by adding branding elements, you make the content resonate with your audience more, okay? You make tweaks and additions, right? So don't be afraid to tweak, right? Add your insights, add your tips, make it align with your style. This is where that communication comes into play as you're delivering the workouts to people. Even if it's BJ in the video or another person in the content, how are you delivering it? Like that's what matters, right? And you can add more. I just recently had someone say, I own, it's not a training gym like I have. He has more of like a gym, right? With, full on equipment and the whole 9 yards. He's like, can I shoot videos and add my own videos for equipment-based stuff to this? Well, yeah, you're a licensee. It's yours. Of course you can do that. Absolutely, right? So you can really start to customize this any way you want to, right? Now, I know you might be thinking, does this really work, right? Well, let's look at some simple proof that actually you can relate to. If you have done any online training, right, there's a really good chance you've used one of the apps on this screen, right? And here, look, at the end of the day, results, speak louder than anything else, right? So there are tens of thousands, if not probably hundreds of thousands of trainers and coaches right now delivering online training programs with one of these major apps, right? If the trainers needed to be the guy or the gal in the video, none of these apps would exist. Right. So when I realized that was like proof enough for me. In fact, I had one of my best friends for the past 20 years. I mean, his son is my godson. Like we're very close. I was having a conversation with him about this recently, telling him all about this. And he is really high up in the health club world. And he's like, yeah, absolutely. We use these apps. This program that you're talking about sounds great. Like, who cares who's in the video? It doesn't matter. I just need a way to deliver it, my trainers to deliver it to their clients. So if I can scale that, I don't care how the workouts are being delivered. The business behind it is what matters to me, right? So that's something really important when a high-level executive at a health club is saying that. It makes a difference, right? It really, at least it certainly did. It did for me. So I really want you to pay attention to that.
If I could just jump in that too.
Yeah.
Again, we talk about like trainers, we got to get out of our own bubbles. We got to look at what other people are doing in our same space.
Yeah.
Obviously, HBO, now Max, I don't want to get into that whole rabbit hole of why that happened, but we know them because of Oz, Sopranos, Game of Thrones, all these like transcending original content creations that really built the brand, but they have breaks between seasons. Do you think they'd still be in business if they didn't license other people's content or bring other content onto the platform to keep people engaged between releases or seasons? This is just the industry standard when it comes to streaming and making online content. And if we as trainers want to embrace these spaces, we got to learn from the other industries that frankly were way ahead of us and make more money than us. This is just the proven way to do it. And we got to take our egos out of it sometimes. And by the way, when I originally launched StreamFit, I got Pat's wife, Holly, to make busy mom content for my people because I knew that was going to resonate more with busy moms than me because that's not something I can personally relate to, right? So it's all about finding ways to give your people the best possible content made available, whether it's you, whether it's me, whether it's a mix. Look at what other industries are doing, and they're not all just making content alone because you go at this alone, it's a lonely journey that will likely lead to burnout.
Yeah, and this is where embracing technology and tools comes into play. You don't have to be a techie, right? But embracing other, it's like, remember the song OPP, right? Other people's property? Like, that's what we're really kind of doing here, right? We're embracing that. Like, a lot of people right now are using ChatGPT to create content, right? Or create different things. And it can be crap, or done right, it could be amazing. Right, it's one of the things I consider myself an AI professional for fitness professionals. It's one of the things that I do is I teach them how to create copy and content with AI. It's one of the things that I do, right? And the thing that matters the most is how do I make it my own, the authenticity. So use these different tools that are available, whether it's a ChatGPT or a Trainerize or an OWA, right? Whatever it is, make it your own to build your business and get your message out there. Okay. So with that being said, I want you to really just imagine your business 1 year from now. Imagine having a thriving online business with consistent monthly revenue, right? Having a database of leads with many converted to loyal clients. And then the freedom to focus on what you love, right? Which is coaching and impacting lives. Most fitness professionals don't love the content creation side. They might like programming, but the content creation, I know I don't. So why wouldn't I leverage that and give me more freedom to do the other things that I like to do in your business? So I want you to just pause. We've covered so much information. I just want you to think about what it would be like to have a year from now, an online business that gives you some of that freedom, that flexibility that we talked about earlier. Now, with that being said, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right? There are two really big roadblocks to your online transition, whether you're adding online to a brick and mortar business and having, whether it's an escape hatch or it's just, hey, let me just make more money because I can get people in my brick and mortar, but there's a whole bunch of leads that I can't get. I'm going to put them online. Or if you're just starting online from scratch, right? These big roadblocks come in either way, right? So there's overwhelm, and the content creation, right? That there's a lot of overwhelm right there. Right. And then there's the technical challenges of setting it up. Right. Which may have you kind of doing like this guy here in the image or gal, just like, oh, my God, this is like we've covered so much information. I've got so many ideas. I wrote down so many things. I really understand this concept of progressive programming pathway. I get the idea of having membership levels. It's all really making sense. I'm probably going to go back and maybe even watch this again just to get even more details. Right. But at the same time, it might be freaking you out. Totally 100% understand that. So that's where the big question is, well, what if we could bridge that gap for you, right? Who here watching would be interested in learning about the program that BJ, myself, and Pat have partnered to help you do exactly that, Okay. So if that is you, then you really need to stick around, because BJ is going to, and myself are going to walk you through what is known as, and BJ's alluded to it earlier, the online workout automator.
Thank you, Justin, for that. And again, I'm really excited about this because, when you put so much into something with a bigger goal in mind, to finally get to the point where like it's done and it's ready to go, it's exciting. Like I really feel like this can help a lot of trainers that are scared or stuck in the mud with the online space to just embrace it. And look, I'm all about the hockey assist, right? I don't even think I say my name in the content, but I'm part of it too. I'm part of helping you help more people. And I just think it's a great thing. And, ultimately it's everything we talked about already. A comprehensive 1-year progressive training program, plus all of these splinter programs for achieving target specific goals, whether it be equipment based or body part based. There's a lot of different things for you to sell and make it so that it's not no's, it's yeses. You're going to find whatever works to get people what they're looking for here, whether it be list builders or just ways in which you can find a way, whether it's a piece of equipment or a price point, to get people involved online. These are at-home workouts, minimal equipment and space. Those watching me right now, I am in my home gym / film studio, a 6x6 foot space. It's my own prison cell, in the sense that there's no excuses, because this is a tiny space. Like, this looks bigger on camera. This is a small part of my house. Okay. Over there is the kitchen. Over there is the living room. Over there's my office. There's the garage. There's outside. Again, I'm ready for the next pandemic. And I'm also cognizant, because of all the work I did at Men's Health, I would share a video of me on doing like a feet elevated push-up on a bench. And someone would say, what if I don't have the bench? And I wanted to die. I wanted to walk into the ocean that day. But it also made me understand, okay, look, people are going to be very literal with this stuff sometimes. So, if I'm in a high-end like loft or gym space, like or a Manhattan high-rise, like our friends at Peloton, right? It's not, it's like, it's not me. This isn't for me, right? No, I'm here at my house where I actually train, doing these workouts with you. And my 6'2", 220-pound body can do it in a 6x6 foot space with a light pair of dumbbells, a medicine ball, a band, and my body weight. And by the way, like this, trainers, they want to get certifications and stuff like this, but ultimately, like, they want to know how to make great workouts, especially if you're new to the game. We've had a lot of new people entering this space because we had a lot of veteran people leave the space. So part of filling that gap is learning on the fly and accelerating that learning of how to make progressive, periodized workouts that aren't just one and dones or standalones, that come together for a synergistic effect to not only legitimize charging people the prices that you need to charge to make a living, but to keep them in the game.
You just asked, again, there's so many little nuggets throughout this whole thing. And it reminded me of something that, I've heard you say so many times: bench, couch, or ottoman. Right? Because people do take things so literally, and you used to talk about like an ottoman workout, right? An ottoman for a couch or a chair, for those who don't understand what I'm saying, right? Ottoman, like the Ottoman Empire, right? So, but people do take things so literally. So you really need to understand these little things in your programming and helping them make these at-home workouts work for them. And really, that's really part of what this leads into this next slide. This whole thing that BJ put together, aside from the fact that it's a kind of a plug and play business, right? It's a master class in online training and, of course, in progressive programming. Like, that's one of the reasons why I've been a member of his for so long, is because I just learn more and more and more. Like, this is his wheelhouse, is program design. And I love program design. I think I'm really good at it. I will say this to toot your horn: there's nobody better at metabolic resistance training program design on the planet than BJ Gaddour, especially when it comes to at-home workouts. There just simply is not. So it's for those like the geeks in the crowd, right? Myself included. This is just an opportunity to learn, right? But we're going to get way into more than that, right? This is an absolute game changer for your business. So BJ's going to walk through kind of the big pieces of it, And I'm going to take you through some really sweet bonuses.
I appreciate that, Justin. And by the way, there's no one better at selling fitness than Justin. That's part of why I wanted to do this with him, not only because he's so familiar with the content I make, but you feel the passion, you feel the experience that comes through Justin's pores. And, we did want to give you guys not only an incredible system, but an incredible offer. You want to stay tuned until the end on this. So why is it a game changer? This stuff is ready to go. You're going to save time, effort, and money. It's also rebrandable. Like I said, I don't need my name to be mentioned. I don't need the credit. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm not the type of guy that names exercises after myself, like other people in this industry. Okay. I'm just part of the process, just like you, trying to get people in shape that need my help, that need your help, and we're doing it together. All right. So the rebrandable nature of this, we're diversifying, attracting, and retaining more clients with more offerings. This is what we need to do in today's post-pandemic age. You get my done-for-you subscription model for basic beginner content, okay? Everything we talked about earlier. You're going to get my advanced subscription model, all right, which is seamless. It allows you to take your basic members and just walk them right up, but they can also walk back down. So instead of leaving, they can go right to, or maybe they lose their job and they can't afford the expensive option, right? Just like in your offline business, if you offer only one option, it is a yes or no. And what we have to do is find ways to let people in that dimmer switch of life or in the gym, it's not on or off. We're adjusting the dimmer up and down based on where you are at today, knowing that there's so many variables in and out of our control. So this is what's so beautiful about this. And again, whether it's a monthly rate and or a paid in full option, this is the lifeblood of a typical online business. But we're not going to just leave it up to subscription, because a lot of people might have subscription fatigue, and maybe you can relate. So let's give them a bunch of different products to get involved with. Now, they're paying actually more for the products. The benefit of the subscriber is that they actually get it at a discounted rate and they get access to everything, right? Now, we have a body weight training program. We have a bells, bands, and ball. We have an ultimate upper body trainer, ultimate lower body trainer, abs trainer, dumbbell, core, cardio, metabolic mobility. Mobility is so important and hot right now because everyone's in pain. And not everyone, but so many people are addicted to pain pills or icy hot patches or braces. I mean, people are literally patching their bodies together. Okay. And maybe can thank CrossFit for that. But the reality is, I have a complete boxing program. Boxing and MMA went through a huge resurgence and growth period in the pandemic because of the fact that they were one of the few sporting events that kept going on during the pandemic, and ultimately a way better cardio workout, full body workout, anti-aging workout. It's boxing, by the way, is used with Parkinson patients because it actually can help, if not stop neurological degeneration, but in fact, reconnect some things for people dealing with that issue. Not going to happen on a stationary bike. Okay. And it's skill-based, meaning as you learn, you can do so many different things, multi-planes of motion, putting combinations together. And by the way, no physical education program is complete without self-defense. That's just a fact. All right.
Hey, one thing I gotta share here is, and now this is the marketer coming out of me right now. It's important though. So, and it's interesting how this worked. Is BJ created the annual content first, and then was able to realize, I can pull things out of here and create these splinter programs and sell them as products, like he just said. Now, the advantage that it goes the other way, which you'll see him doing in his world and we'll do in our world as well, is now these splinter programs become the front end product, right? So you have opportunities throughout the year to test in different product offerings. So you can sell the boxing trainer, for example, but then you have an opportunity to upsell them right there on the spot into the full training program. Or they do the boxing trainer, they don't take that upsell. You do the boxing trainer and you follow up with them through that trainer to then move them either onto another trainer or into the full subscription program. So that this is not only an opportunity to create product sales, but this works as a great front end offer. And you may at certain times do that as a highly discounted lead magnet, or take pieces out of it and use as a lead magnet. For example, you might use like an X1 or a Boxing One trainer workout as a free lead magnet, which then gets them into the product, which then gets them into the membership. So this is how we want you thinking. As
a content creator, one of the worst things someone can say to me, or it's my gets butterflies in my stomach is what's next. So the reality is you have so many things to answer that question in this process. And like Justin said, and by the way, you can name these whatever you want. You can price them whatever you want. I'm just giving you what I found to be price points that convert and based on, how much you can successfully charge for this content. But this is what was missing in a big part of my business over the years is I didn't think enough about how I could take every piece of content and, spin it 5, 10 plus different ways. Because as I get older at 41, I don't have the energy I did 10 years ago. I just don't. I get tired. I get worn down. And at this age, if I'm going to make something or invest in something, I have to know it's not just a one-trick pony. And I went through great lengths in providing that with this whole process. And look, I don't want to turn you off, but I also want to just get real with you. Again, this is a job. This is not going to be a cakewalk. All right. This is also can cost money if you do it on your own. This is what it cost me last year. It was $500 a month to make the images. It was $500 a month and to edit the video. And by the way, the image guy was in the Philippines and the video guy was in Romania. So this is like as cheap as it gets. This could be double, triple, or more in the States or with someone local. $1,000 a month for a videographer. All right. So $2,000 a month just to make the content. And that's not to mention hosting costs. And I know that's a non-starter. Some of you may have just puked in your mouth a bit, just like Jim Carrey here from Dumb and Dumber. But again, I'm not trying to turn you off from going this route, but I do want to make you realistic about it. And part of what this could be, like I said, this could be a way for you to generate some initial income so that you could then you have a full year of not having to worry about this, but also to start to save up and plan and prepare if you want to end up making your own content. That's fine. Or maybe you don't want to make your own content, but I just want to be real with you that this is not, this isn't 2011 where you can just do it on the phone anymore. These are real costs. And again, as I get older, as Justin gets older, money is important for sure. But we just know this. At the time of recording this a couple days ago, Apollo Creed, Chubbs Peterson, Carl Weathers passed away. And there's that famous scene in Rocky 3 where, Rocky is just in a slump. He lost to Clubber Lang and Apollo's going to train him. And they go to LA and they're at Apollo's gym and Rocky is just dragging ass. And Apollo says, what's the matter with you, Rock? And Rocky goes, tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And time is our most important asset. What was crazy about it too is, not to get you off track here, but like this like really affect. You see the sign Rocky on the wall, like those movies, what they meant to me growing up in the 80s and 90s, and just seeing these legends, leave us. But again, legends never die. That's one thing too, right? Their spirit, their energy, their example, it sticks with us. But look, man, you can't underestimate what it means to put a year of your life into something from scratch. To make 90 DVD level instructional and follow along workout videos. Most DVD products have like 12 to 18 of these and they sell for $200. 90 just to make a given workout can take 20 to 60 minutes. And that's not accounting the proofing of it, connecting it with the other content, not just within a month, but from month to month. Then they got to film this stuff. Typically it takes 2 half-day film shoots to make 3 of these workouts. All right. Every week. That's a grind. It's not that you can't do it. It's just that you're tired. You're already chasing your tail. That's when like stress gets in the way. And then like, by the way, you got to perform here too. So I got to sometimes I'll be like, blah, blah, and then, hey, I'm BJ Gaddour. And this is the reality of life. And when you got to perform and the red light goes on, you got to find a way to find the energy. And sometimes it's tough. You got to then design the images, the workout charts, take pictures for thumbnails, all this stuff. Get it to your designer, proof the images. And then you got to edit all the video. And sometimes there's 2 to 3 revisions of these 25 to 50-minute videos. The workout's always 20 minutes, but you factor in the instructional portion. I'm looking for typos. I'm looking to make sure the timing is perfect. All this stuff. And then you got to upload the content. You got to organize the content. So I can't stress enough to you, how much this took. I don't know how many gray hairs sprouted from making this, but I think it was worth it because of the fact that we're reaching good people like you that are natural coaches with heart and passion, and already people that trust and believe in you. And I know this works. It worked for me. It's worked for our initial licensees and beta testers, and it can work for you too. So here's what we got. I'm passing it to Justin now, our true closer here, for just this incredible offer that you want to jump on right away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about this, and you can see on the screen here the complete and unique online fitness solution, everything that BJ has talked about. And legitimately, I mean, this isn't hype. We're not here to hype anything, but BJ, I mean, spent 24 grand to put all this together. Of course, that's not anywhere near what's going to cost you, but there's more, right? There's a whole lot more that we want to provide with you. This is where Pat and myself come in. Pat couldn't be here for this part of it, so I'm gonna cover this all. But we are here to support the process to make you successful, right? So we put together a series of bonuses that we knew would make this this opportunity that much more grand for you. So the first one is just a personal branding kit. And this is really for those folks who, their brand is really important to them, and they want to be able to put as much of their own brand onto the pre-designed, pre-done workouts as they possibly can. So BJ put together a branding guide and tips. We've got rebrandable thumbnails, rebrandable workout templates, rebrandable workout of the week emails. So all of these are Canva templates. So you need to have a little bit of skill set, or you can outsource it like BJ did. And you can change the colors, you can change the images. If you want to, for example, be the guy in here doing the one-arm pull-up on GG28, you can be the guy doing the one-arm pull-up on GG28, right? And of course, you can rename these, right? Because GG28 is the name that BJ gave it, right? You want to call it something else, Workout 28, you can call it whatever you want. You can get into Canva and you can do whatever you want with it. You can change it with the colors. You look at the workout sheets here. We're showing an X workout and a GG workout, the colors, right? So if your colors for your brand are blue and green like mine, well, then you might have blue and green as your colors for these rebrandable charts. Same thing with the calendars. You may change the calendars around too, where these are like November workouts. This might be month 11 workouts, because maybe people are obviously starting at different periods of time. So you can get in there and you can change November to month 11, for example, right? So you have full ability to rebrand all of these assets, carousel slider images, and then even specialization plans. You didn't actually mention this, BJ. Talk a little bit quickly about what these specialization plans are, because these are pretty cool.
Thank you, man. No, that's actually, so I developed these after 5 years of testing with my daily BJ members. Essentially, they are, it's a program, it's a 12-week plan designed to get you to boost your reps or boost your holds, whether it's a dynamic exercise or an isometric exercise. And so I've used this time and time again to get people to do their first ever pull-up or pistol squat. It's also set up in a way that like you basically see how many reps can you currently do. And there are 6 unique columns that dictate where you start. And typically people end up doubling their reps. Like I've gotten some up to 24 pull-ups before with this plan. I personally got up to 17 and a half pull-ups. And again, at 6'2", 220, that's a lot. I went from like, at the time it was 10 to 12 to 17 and a half reps. So again, like this is where, especially your more advanced clientele, looking to PR or like, actually achieve something from a performance standpoint, that means a lot more than any amount of weight loss. Okay. So I just threw that in as a special bonus. And again, like this works every time someone properly, like unless they are too ambitious in which column they choose, like don't say, I think I can do 10 to 12 reps. How many can you actually do? And I even encourage people to actually say, you know what, you're probably better suited doing one column to the left, just to make sure, because in a perfect bubble, that might be fine. But you might not get sleep one night, or a busy time at work, or something crazy has gone in the house. So anyway, that's also provided as well. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys get my latest and greatest resources.
Cool. So just a bonus we didn't even account for. But look, what you're going to get today so far, we've got the online workout automator, and we've got the personal branding kit here. We're looking at a $25,000 legitimate value here. Because, by the way, again, legitimate value. Like BJ had to pay his guy to create the training, to make all these rebrandable assets, right? And it cost him about $1,000. All right, so the second bonus that we've got here for you, this is actually a really exciting one because, BJ's put together this incredible program. It's all done for you. Here's all your videos. Here's your workout progression. Here's your programming. We got branding for you. But now we need to provide some coaching. There's nobody better to do that than Pat Rigsby. And he's got actually two bonuses for you. This first one here is his signature Add 1K in online coaching program. This is literally a proven blueprint to boost your monthly revenue online, right? So Pat is a no fluff guy. He just gives you the exact steps that you need to add at least $1,000 a month in online coaching revenue. He has done this with so many people. He's going to help do it with you now. We want to look at like how do we translate your offline expertise into online profit. If you have that offline game, you'll be able to do that. If you have no offline game at this point, that's okay too, right? Because he's going to give you a simple, effective client attraction system that actually works on a continuous basis. He's got a really cool format to the way he does this. And we are both very much about no big ad spend and no tech, right? We don't want complex tech holding us back. And we want to do all of this to make your first 1K online for sure, and then some. You do not need to worry about ad spend at this point, right? And this system is a proven system that he's been using since 2004. This is a really cool training. You guys will be super excited to get this for all aspects of your business. Easily worth $1,000 to go ahead and add $1,000 in online coaching for sure, right? So we've got for you today is we got the online workout automator, the personal branding kit, and the Add 1K in online coaching. Like I said, Pat's actually got two bonuses for you because his other bonus is his 8-figure email training. And this is really important because this is a big piece of online communication strategies to grow your business. You need to get good at email, right? When we're getting people on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram and we're getting those connections, we need to bring them into our ecosystem, one that we can actually control, right? Because having a bunch of followers on Instagram, the algorithm changes, your stuff not being seen anymore, right? Or that platform goes away, it's no longer the popular platform, you lose all those people. You've got to pull them into your world, and that's where email comes into play. But then how do you actually build a relationship with people through email? How do you market? How do you connect? Those are two really key pieces, right? So crafting marketing emails that resonate with your audience, super important. And he's got this really, really great email framework, right, to align your market and your goals, maximizing your outreach, because so many people have a difficult time figuring out what to actually write about. And he's got a really great system, and he teaches you that in this training so that you'll never have to worry about what to write and how to connect with your clients, right? And of course, like combining it, like I already said, email with other platforms like social media, or it may be video, right, to supercharge your results, right? There's some pretty cool things you can do to have a more comprehensive digital marketing strategy where you kind of take your email content that he teaches you how to create and then supercharge that in the socials. So another $1,000 bonus from Pat. We want to get the best in the business to help you actually do the marketing and build the business for you. So today we've got just a power pack, product here: online workout automator, personal branding kit, Add 1K in online coaching, and then the 8-figure emails. And then I'm going to come in because now we got to actually, there's a whole other side. We got to, if we get connections and we're communicating with people, we need to drive them somewhere, right? So that's where sales funnel copy comes into play. People are going to go to a site to purchase the program. So I've built all that out for you. I've written all the copy. I've also written all the marketing emails to get this out to your current world. And then as you build your world up through the programs that Pat provides, how do we market this to people? And then even getting it out on social media, organic social media posts, even written for when the time comes. Again, when the time comes, your Facebook or IG ads. I've also got something I threw in there called the 5-star review formula. You will get tons of 5-star reviews if you follow this proven formula, which is going to be great for your marketing. You'll be able to add that to your sales funnel and into your emails. And then I'm currently working on a lead magnet landing page and what's called a self-liquidating offer, which is if you decide to put some ad revenue behind your lead magnet, then how do we get that back on the other side, right? So putting all that together for you, most of it's already together. Now, in truth, to hire a professional copywriter, it would be a lot more than $5,000. To be quite frank with you, I've actually talked to some folks, and this is a very conservative price. Most people will charge 10 to 15. I'm being a bit more conservative because that's kind of how I am. So I'm going to say this package is easily worth $5,000 that I put together for you to help you market and go get the clients that you need. Okay, so what you're going to get today, again, just power-packed, product here for you. BJ's online workout automator, the branding kit, the add 1K in online coaching, 8-figure emails, right? And this amazing copy marketing toolkit. I mean, we're looking at, $32,000 worth of value here. Now, clearly, it's not going to cost you that much. Let's not get you freaked out worrying about it. But at this point, I want you to just, I'm an imagination guy. I'm a mindset guy. Many people know I'm a transformational mindset coach as well. It wasn't on my bio slide earlier, but it's one of the things I do. Imagination is such a powerful tool. And I just want you to imagine a world where you have a thriving online training business where the tech is a non-issue, right? Your brand stands out and clients just start kind of rolling in, right? No more sleepless nights over figuring out how to do this, how to create more content. You're not wasting time, right? And no more feeling like just lost in this online market because it's very easy to get there, right? With Online Workout Automator, you're not just getting a set of videos. I got to make that very clear to you. It's not just a set of random workouts. Somebody recently asked me that. Is this just a bunch of workouts? No. First of all, it's a progressive programming pathway with all the genius behind it that BJ has explained, and I'm sure we've left some stuff out. But you're also getting a complete business solution from branding to tech to marketing, right? It's all covered for you. And that's a really important piece to understand. That's why we put these bonuses in there. We didn't want to leave you hanging with this incredible product that BJ put together. Pat and I came together to figure out how do we get these people successful? Well, let's use the things that have proven to work with our clients already. And we're just going to go ahead and give them to you, right? Now, this isn't something everyone has access to, right? This is our premium content combined with years of expertise in the fitness business, right? From BJ's premium content to Pat and myself, right? The copywriting, all of it, right? So just think about the hours that you would spend creating content, the money on tech solutions, right? The having to figure out marketing or pay someone to do marketing, the missed opportunities by not having the right marketing. Now, all that is going to be handed to you on a silver platter. Okay, what would that be worth to you to bypass all the hurdles and literally have this thriving online business set up in literally a fraction of the time, right? You stack all that up, I've got $32,000 in value, and we're going to get it all today for only $97. $97 to start, and then 11 payments of additional 97. Or if you want to save and get 2 months free, you can do one payment of $997. So literally the price of just one of those cheaper bonuses, you can get the entire Online Workout Automator. $24,000 worth of effort from BJ, plus all the incredible bonuses that Pat and I put together. You go to onlineworkoutautomator.com. Get there now while the price is still available. I'll talk about why that's going to be going away, and lock in your rate for life. Because I should mention, this is at this point, as I'm speaking, as we're recording this video, it is a lifetime license. So one payment today of $97 followed by 11 more payments, or if you want to save 2 months, one payment of $997, and you have access to this content for the rest of your life.
And just to add to that as well, quick too, behind a paywall. So this content can not be shared on social media. That's the one stipulation with it is it's behind your own paywall. And at this date, lifetime license. People, like Justin said, people typically will charge you an annual re-up fee. We'll probably look at that at some point in the future, but people that the early adopters take advantage of this.
Yeah. And just to be clear, the BJ content is behind the paywall. The content that Pat and I are providing is obviously social media posts, Facebook ads. All that content is actually out to the world to get people to cross over your paywall. Now, go ahead, go to onlineworkoutautomator.com, lock it in now, get it while you can. But for those of you who may still have some questions, I do want to address some of those questions that do sometimes come up. So we're just going to knock those out right now. Okay. So for one, you might be saying, I'm not tech savvy. Look, we get it. We know the online world can be daunting, but we're going to cover you here as best as we possibly can. Obviously, we can't do it for you, but for one of the things that we're actually taking care of is all these videos are actually going to be hosted for you. Okay. Now you can host them yourself if you want to, right? So there's two ways that you're going to get this. One is we have them actually hosted. We're paying for the hosting of these videos on Vimeo, which is not cheap. Or if you choose to, you can take the Google document with links to all the videos, download them, and you can host them all yourself. I don't know why you necessarily would want to do that, but we're going to take care of that side of it for you. Okay. And then with the copywriting stuff that I provided for you, the funnels that you're going to get. I'm literally handing you these funnels. All you got to do from the tech standpoint is you get somebody on Fiverr. I've got a connection. Go to Fiverr, and they will just take that copy and make your webpage for you. Generally speaking, get these things done for $50, $100, maybe a little bit more, depending on the super high quality people. But the tech is going to be handled for you if you don't have the tech savviness, because it's not really the tech that's the issue. It's more of the copywriting and how to format the funnels that becomes the issue. If you hand it to somebody on Fiverr, they can put it together for you, and I've taken care of all that for you. Literally, you just give this to the guy on Fiverr, and you're done. What about branding? Branding is generally, a question that comes up. Will this align with my brand? Well, that's where the personal branding toolkit comes in, right? So you can infuse your unique touch into the content, right? It's designed to be flexible, allowing you to maintain that authenticity that I talked about earlier, right? Is content up to date? Absolutely. I mean, the program is top notch. We wouldn't be offering it if it wasn't. Plus, I can promise you this: it's got some incredible exercises and workouts that will even be new to you. There are things in here that BJ teaches that I promise you haven't even seen yet. He is the fitness innovator, and there's going to be some cool stuff in there. Big question, of course, is going to be, how much money can I make? Can I actually make money with this? Look, like everything, it requires action. Pat said that in the very beginning, right? The potential is there. You just have to seize it. But, look, even with just 25 members at $20 per month, even though BJ suggested 25, you just charge 20. That's an extra $500 each month for very little additional work, right? And remember, with the add 1K in online coaching training, right, we're giving you a blueprint to do 1,000 or more every single month. If you want to turn that 1,000 into 2,000 to 4,000, 8, 10, 12, whatever you want to do, the opportunity is there. You just got to seize it, okay? And then we also get the question of support. Okay, we are here for you. We don't want to just, dump something on you and then you're off on your own and you have no help, right? So we're committed to helping you be successful. Now, we're not going to do the work for you, but we've got your back, right? So we put together a Facebook group to help you get through kind of like the launching process of the OWA, the Online Workout Automator. So you'll be able to ask questions in there, get some guidance. I jump in there and I share some tutorial things. So we've got your back as far as that is concerned. And then, of course, the question is there a guarantee? Yeah, there actually is a guarantee. It's kind of a totally insane money back guarantee, considering what we're giving you in terms of, the content that BJ is providing for you, and then all the bonuses that Pat and I are providing for you. Because, if you decide a year from now that you don't want to do this, right? 'Cause look at this, we're going to give you a full year, right? Let us help you launch and grow your online training business. And if we don't show you exactly how to run a successful online training program, if this doesn't pave the way for you to maximize online training profits, and if it fails to help you build your ideal online training business, then we don't want your money, right? We'll give it back, no questions, ask no hard feelings. And you won't have the license to use BJ's content anymore, but you're going to have all the bonuses that Pat and I provided for you, right? You're going to have all that education, all that content that you can use in other ways. So it's kind of a sick guarantee, but we want to back you up, right? So, what you're getting today, like I said, $32,000 in value. Get started today for only $97, followed by 11 installments of $97, or go ahead and save with a one-time investment of $997. Lock it in. Go to onlineworkoutautomator.com, lock it in now before the price does go up and the program changes a little bit, okay? Now, if you're still not convinced, we got one more bonus for you. BJ, I'm going to flip it over to you to kind of walk through what you decide to throw in, which is really in itself, it's legitimately, you're paying your guy $1,000 to put this bonus together. And that's the value of this bonus, because that's what you're literally paying someone to do. And it's the cost of the entire program. You literally just buy this and you get everything else.
Who wants more bonuses? Look, what's crazy about this is we'll probably eventually sell this for the same price point just for the database.
Yeah.
Because I know some of you are like, well, I still like to make my own workouts. And essentially what we've done here is I've taken all the instructional clips and the B-roll. Again, we talk about leveraging and splintering and maximizing the investment of your time and resources. And from this, there will be nearly 1,000 exercises or a complete exercise database. So you you can say, you know what, I want to make a quick workout circuit. I'm going to take the plank, the side plank, the bridge, the hollow body hold, and a farmer's walk. And I can write out an email quick and send it out. And you can reference the exercise list here for endless content creation for you, quick and dirty. So this is a real value. And this is something I think I as a trainer, I'm already now taking these and making new versions of workouts from these clips. And what I've done here too, this again, because I assess and analyze all of my content across all platforms, my member platform, social media, and it's a tried and proven format of quick 5-second sped up if needed, shirtless B-roll to hook the user in, and then it goes right into the instructional clothed professional teaching as well. But again, if people just need a quick reference of the movement, they can get that in 5 seconds. You talk about user friendly, but again, there's also the instructional component off of that. Here's a sample clip of the hollow body hold to give you an idea of this, and there's 1,000 total of just like this.
The hollow body hold is a foundational move in gymnastics. It strengthens your abs and teaches you how to stabilize your spine. Now, you'll start with a tuck body position, and the key is you gotta flatten that lower back hard into the floor. Once this feels good, again, shoulders off the ground, chin slightly tucked, I extend into the full position, arms and legs straight, but I don't wanna have any space between my lower back and the floor. So if you feel pain in the back, just come back to the tuck position. But if you can, get out here, hold, and look like a banana or hammock shape.
So you get the database, Justin. I mean, are we psycho for giving away the farm like this?
Yeah, the stack is unbelievable. You can see the slide here. We're up to $33,000 basically in total value. As we said, you're going to get all of this for one payment of $97 today. Lock it in, followed by 11 more payments. Or if you wanted to save $200, you can just do $997. Literally, the value, the legitimate price BJ is paying to have his guy clip all these videos for you. One payment $997 gets you everything we've shown you here. Now, that being said, I alluded to this earlier, 2 warnings. One, the price will go up because this is ludicrous. We are in the launch stage of Online Workout Automator, the OWA. So we're letting the early adopters get the best price, and we're ramping up. And, you know, this is something I suggest you do in a lot of your programs. I teach my clients this all the time. Like when you're launching something, you give a crazy discount, get the early adopters, get the testimonials, work out the kinks, all of those things, find out what else they want to be added to the program, what bonuses might they want, what additional products might they want to purchase, right? So this is where we're at. We're in that pilot launchy stage, and you get to take advantage of that. But the price will definitely go up. Certainly, I see it as double. I mean, really, if I go back to the beginning, when I introduced myself, I told you guys that I was part of a program that Pat and BJ put together to help me launch my original boot camp program. That was $199 per month. Then BJ launched another program called Bootcamp Automator, where he provided done-for-you workouts, soundtracks. Back in the day, he made soundtracks for the workouts, and he had his own app. This is even before like the Seconds app. I paid $200 a month for that, right? So why would we not charge at least $200 a month for this 15 years later for an online program with the amount of, you know, value that this thing has? So the price will go up. And then, yes, as BJ mentioned earlier, no licensing programs. You're going to get a lifetime license. Generally, there's going to be some type of an annual maintenance fee for that. So that will happen. But again, we want to get this initial pilot group, the early adopters. That's how it works. You get the early adopters to get the momentum going. And then from there, we got more things to manage. We're going to add in some annual renewal fees. You will never have that. Just want to make you very clear. That's a question that comes up. So I'm locked in forever. Yes, you are locked in forever. $997 in full or 12 payments of $97. Locked in. You pay that. You're done with your 12-month payments or your one-time paid in full. You've got content and access to all of this for life. So one last plea, go here now to the Online Workout Automator. And if you want to see the cool logo that BJ made, there it is.
Look, guys, stop spinning your wheels. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Take my system, run with it. Make more, work less, and frankly, get a big step ahead of your competition, no matter where they are. This is what I've used. Justin's using it. We already have some beta licensees, just like so happy about how much time they're saving. They're getting great feedback from the users. Again, I already took this through my people, and I even stepped back a bit. I'm like, I'm only going to answer questions. I'm not going to be as encouraging as maybe I have been in the past, because I wanted to know that the content spoke for itself, that I could keep people engaged, that I could get people to the end of the year. And you saw how the retention rate got even stronger towards the end of the program. You can unlock this for your own business. Go to onlineworkoutautomator.com today. Become an original licensee at the lowest possible price with all of the bonuses, with no annual re-up fee. This is a lifetime license. That's going to go away, because even though we're super excited now, we want to get the initial group in, we're not idiots, and we know we should be charging a lot more.
We know what we have our hands on.
100%. So thanks for watching. Again, we set up this presentation so even if you don't take advantage of this amazing once-in-a-lifetime offer, you got a lot of information about what it takes to make it in the online fitness space, what's involved in making content, and also just all the other nooks and crannies involved, the sales copy, the emails, this is a business. Okay, like I tell people sometimes, like, I know this looks like fun fitness time. No, this is a job and this is a business. And if you don't treat it that way, that's probably why the average trainer is out of this industry in just 6 months. Go to onlineworkoutautomator.com right now. Take my system, get your people crazy results, and save yourself a bunch of time, money, and effort so you can focus on doing what you love, coaching and changing people's lives. Love you guys. Peace.